What's up, everyone? Big Sky Bowler coming to you again from Town and Country Lanes in Billings, Montana, and today we are going to talk about your timing and how it relates to your ball speed. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is impossible to talk about ball speed unless we first discuss timing and how improper timing can affect our game. In the last video, we discussed the two-handed swing and how to achieve a proper two-handed swing. If you haven't watched that video yet, check it out by clicking the icon on the top right-hand corner of the video. In that video, we discussed the proper use of kinetic and potential energy. If you do not have proper timing, however, our use of proper swing mechanics goes completely out the window. Just as we discussed in our previous videos, there are numerous differences between the one-handed and the two-handed styles, and timing is one of those key differences. The two-handed swing motion is much shorter than that of a good one-handed player. Because of this, our timing needs to be much later than a one-handed player. Now I'm going to show you some videos here, and I'd like you to look really closely and see if you can catch the difference.
Belmo with a 26-pin win and then a 97-pin route to get here.
Nope.
And we'll stay here in Texas and bowl Saturday night in prime time on FS1.
That one looked nice too.
Did you catch it? With one-handed timing, a well-timed player begins their swing as their second step begins during a normal 5-step approach. With two-handed timing, a well-timed player begins their swing as their second step finishes during a normal 5-step approach. Now you may think that this small difference is not a very big deal, but trust me, that little half-step difference is a very big deal. The one-handed swing is normally much longer than a two-handed swing, and a longer swing requires more time to complete. Therefore, a good one-handed player needs to get their ball into the swing as early as possible as a result. A shorter swing requires less time to complete, and because two-handers have a naturally shorter swing, a good two-handed player needs to get their ball into their swing later as a result. This swing distance is what contributes to the approach speed of a two-handed player, which is normally always much faster than what you see with a one-handed player. Due to the faster swing, the player needs to really get their feet moving to the line to achieve proper timing. Timing is easier to think about if we break it down into 3 individual timing points. Timing point 1 deals with the start of the swing. As the second step moves forward, the ball should remain stationary. As the second step heel touches the approach near the end of the second step, the ball needs to move forward into the pusher. Timing point 2 deals with the start of the backswing. As the third step begins, the ball needs to be nearing the bottom of the backswing and beginning the up portion of the backswing. The ball at this timing point should be directly underneath the ball side shoulder. Timing point 3 deals with the downswing. As the final step begins, the slide foot begins its slide into the foul line, and the non-slide foot begins the power step. During this phase, the non-ball side arm should be mostly parallel with the approach, and the ball should be roughly nearing the hips in the downswing. This ensures that when our slide foot finishes the slide, we are transferring all of our kinetic energy from our approach into the ball as we release it onto the lane. Really, in the end, it all comes down to that first timing point. If we move the ball too early in the start, it will directly affect the other timing points, and will result in the ball arriving at the foul line prior to the finish of our slide. This will cause inefficient transfer of energy into the ball at the release point, which will result in less ball speed. If we move the ball too late in the start, it will again directly affect the other timing points, and will result in the ball arriving at the foul line after our slide is already finished. This will cause inefficient transfer of energy into the ball at the release point and will result in less ball speed. Now that we have a solid understanding of the proper timing points of a two-handed game, let's discuss why our forward momentum is so important to generate ball speed.
But first, you gotta get speed. Demon speed. Speed's what we need. We need greasy, fast speed.
If I was to stand here at the foul line and simply swing my ball, How fast do you think I could get the ball to go down the lane? If you said not very fast, then you would be correct. Even if I get this ball as high as I possibly can in my backswing, it will only gain a little bit of speed from the potential energy we are creating with that high backswing. Now, if I add one single step, I instantly gain ball speed, as now I am generating kinetic energy from my body's forward momentum. It's all about matching our forward momentum with proper swing speed. If I want to generate more ball speed, we need more forward momentum, but at the same time, we need a faster swing motion. If I want to generate less ball speed, we need less forward momentum, but at the same time, we need a slower swing motion. Therefore, good timing is key when it comes to generating ball speed.
In order to work on our timing, we are going to need to break things down into drills. Since we have 3 timing points to work on, we need 3 separate drills to address each timing point. Now, as you can see in this video clip, I am doing a ball start drill. During the ball start drill, we are focusing on the proper time to start our swing. Proper timing means that we start the ball into the push away as the second step heel touches the approach near the end of the second step. In this clip, you can see I am doing what is called a skip step drill. During the skip step drill, we are focusing on the proper position of the ball in the backswing before we begin step 3. As this third step heel touches the floor near its completion, the ball should be directly under the ball side shoulder and should begin entering the up portion of the backswing. In this clip, I am performing a one-step drill. During the one-step drill, we are focusing on the proper position of the ball in the downswing before we step into our slide. As the ball begins to fall in the downswing, we begin our final step into our slide. This should ensure that our non-ball side arm is parallel to the approach as we enter the slide.
In order to adjust our ball speed by plus or minus 1/2 to 1 mile per hour, all you really need to do is trick your brain into making your body move faster or slower. In my opinion, the best way to do this is with a combination of a few things. First, I recommend that you take a half step closer to or further away from the foul line. If you are trying to create more ball speed, take a half or a full step back. If you are trying to create less ball speed, take a half or a full step forward. Changing this distance, even a little bit, will force your brain to think that your body must take smaller steps or larger steps to close the distance to the foul line. The smaller your steps are, the less kinetic energy we create because we are not moving as fast. The larger your steps are, the more kinetic energy we create because we are now moving faster. Second, I recommend that you change the position of your ball in your setup. If you are trying to create more ball speed, hold the ball slightly lower in your setup, and during your push away, push the ball straight out away from your body. This will change the height of your swing slightly and allow your swing to complete more quickly. Combine this with taking a half or a full step back from the approach to increase your overall speed. If you are trying to create less ball speed, hold the ball slightly higher in your setup, and during your push away, push the ball straight out away from your body. This will change the height of your swing slightly and allow your swing to complete less quickly. Combine this with taking a half or a full step forward to the approach to decrease your overall ball speed. If performed correctly, this should result in a plus or minus 1/2 to 1 mile per hour change in overall ball speed. Alright guys, hopefully this helps shed some light on just what it takes to achieve good ball speed as a two-handed player. If this helped you understand the two-handed game even more than you did before, leave a like below and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, do not forget to turn on your notifications by clicking the bell, and I will see you guys in the next video where we will discuss spare shooting as a two-handed player.